ready to get out of it. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Wes before we go? One question.
Instead of the approach you just advocated, why aren't we all over this Tea Party movement? We've got 1 million or 2 million people marching on Washington, and you're preaching an incremental, minimalist approach. Why don't we do something big and harness that great force? I've been on the street, I've been part of it, and there's a bunch of people who are doing it, and we don't seem to be there.
Well, I think a lot of libertarians are there.
That's for him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, just for the record, our national office is in D.C. It's the Watergate building. I am so dedicated to working so hard for the party that when I moved there in July, I found an apartment just 2 blocks from the Watergate building so that I could be there all the time. I've worked 7 days a week, every day since July when I got there, except for one day I needed to do some moving stuff in preparation, and then today I'm here with the Libertarian Party of Michigan. But the advantage, one nice thing about where I live is that when the 9/12 Tea Party event happened, I made a big sign. It's in LP News, it's on the website. I walked from my apartment to the protest where it started and then walked all the way to the Capitol where the big rally was. And we were there with interns. We got photos and we participated. I wish there were more libertarians there, but what we need to do, there's millions of people showing up to those nationwide. We're just hundreds. We're a few thousand people. We can't make it bigger. We can show up and say we were there, but then we can get on the ballot so that when those people are furious, they'll still be furious next November, they can vote Libertarian. So to me, that's our best way to take advantage of that Tea Party movement, is to get on the ballot for Congress and get those votes from those Tea Partiers.
One more?
One more.
All right. You're the news guy, you know.
Well, I was a news guy. I'm too fat, old, and ugly to be on TV.
This is Pat Clausen, by the way, from Houston.
I'm the former vice chairman of the Libertarian Party of Michigan, Bill Redpath, who dragged me into this thing back in 1993. You mentioned a McDonald's with $2 million. Well, now that you're living back in D.C., where I lived for almost 30 years, back there you have all these Sheetz gas stations around the area. You've seen those in Virginia and Maryland, what have you. They're nice stores, big red and yellow signs.
I had to give my truck away. I don't drive.
Well, it's time to get out and go to a Sheetz, because let me tell you, one single Sheetz store does an average of $5 million a year in business. When a goddamn gas station makes $5 million a year in revenue, and the Libertarian Party of this country can only gather $2 million, there's something wrong in Shanghai. I'm sorry. Okay? I appreciate what you are doing to get this party moving and get it resuscitated. Has the party put together any kind of a business plan for actually setting up measurable goals, both financially and membership-wise, to get this party where it needs? This party has been in existence now for over 30 years. It has had marginal impact. It has no money. All right? What was it Albert Einstein said? That if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, that's a sign of idiocy. And that seems to me that's what we've been doing in the LP. You mentioned the Tea Parties. I'm a member of the Tea Party in Genesee County, Michigan, where I live now. All right? So far this summer, in the last 3 or 4 months, we've defeated 2 millage proposals that have gone out of our area. We're looking at rounding up candidates and running them for local office, and the people that are in there are disaffected Democrats, they're disaffected Republicans, they're white, they're black, they're green, they're yellow. I mean, they come from all over the spectrum. The LP has not tapped into this. When I was a Republican...
Pat, I'm glad you're out there tapping into it. I mean, and that's great, but, you know...
One comment, I'll be...
Well, what's your question, Pat?
My question is this. What do we do to get this thing into drive?
You know, if we had the answer to that, I think we'd have already driven. I mean, don't you think?
Yes, the leadership. I'm interested in what the leadership thinks.
Okay, and
What?
I don't know how to transform the party into a $1 million operation, from that into, or from a $2 million into a $20 million overnight operation. Ron Paul figured out how to do it himself. You know, people did rally around him, and that worked. I did take the Libertarian Party of Texas, which had about 30 or 40,000 in revenue, and in a few years brought that up to a record $145,000 in revenue. That's for the Libertarian Party of Texas. Again, that's not astronomical, but it's more than California, New York, and Florida raised combined. So, and it wasn't complicated what we did. I just put the right phone numbers on the website and sent fundraising letters on time and kind of wrote them decently. They're not super great. They're just not horrible. And you mail them out and people put money in there and it comes back. It's amazing. So I'm going to keep on doing what I've been doing. It seemed to work in Texas and it's worked in other places in the past. Indiana's done it in the past and had record number of folks on the ballot. We got a record number of votes in Texas, and now it was a little less. It all depends on whether it's a 2- or 3-way race. But in Texas, we got 7 million of the 13 million votes nationwide in 2006. In 2008, we had another record 173 candidates and got 200. I mean, we got about 5 million votes or something. It's a little less, but you know, we had fewer 2-way races, but it grew and it works. And I was on something called Texans for Accountable Government. It's Ron Paul folks and Campaign for Liberty folks, and they liked me, I liked them, they liked the Libertarians. So I'm just going to keep doing what I can to make things better, and I can't guarantee instant overnight success. But I do think every vote we get, whether we win or not, and if we go up and down, and if the Campaign for Liberty goes up and down and other groups do, at least we're trying, and maybe we're turning things around. Maybe we're more influential this moment, and the Campaign for Liberty is that moment, and the Ron Paul group is. I don't really care who succeeds, although it's my job to make the Libertarian Party as effective as it can be.
With all due respect, all of us in here are believers in the free market. And the market is not buying what we've been selling. I think we really need to radically revisit how it is we're packaging the LP, how we're presenting it to the public, and we need to start educating people that there is a viable alternative to the Republicans and the Democrats, and we're not doing that.
Well, thank you very much, and we all do want to do that, but this evening we're going to close up the program. And so I want to thank you again for attending. I want to thank again our Libby Award winners, Mark Byrne, Rose Bogaert, and Larry Johnson. If you have an envelope, Julie Mack, who is on the LibertyFest committee and was very instrumental in planning this evening tonight, along with Nan Bailey, who couldn't be here. So I want to thank Julie and the rest of the committee, and Paul and Larry, who are out helping with registration. So thank you guys. And I appreciate, again, you coming. Think about running for office, thinking about getting a friend to join the Libertarian Party. Think about, we'll have our convention May 22nd. We'll have candidate training probably in March. And think how you can participate and bring freedom to your community. Thank you very much. Have a safe drive home. It was nice to see you.